Hey guys, it's Dan from DisneyInfinityCodes.com, and I'm here inside the toy box with Tinkerbell, one of my many 1.0 and 2.0 characters from my collection, because I have the full set of characters from both 1.0 and 2.0. And right now I'm in the process of uploading all of my characters inside 3.0 to acknowledge that they, I own them, so I can fill out my Hall of Heroes and whatnot. But as everyone knows, for the Hall of Heroes to recognize your character, you have to have them be at least level 1. When you put down the character, sure, you get the little townsperson, you get the portrait, you unlock all that cool stuff. But what you don't get is the statue inside the Hall of Heroes. And so, at the very least, I'd like to have all of my characters be level 1. And so, I've spawned inside of my Spark Farm generator that I've got here. And so what I have here is the best way that I've found to do my Spark Farm generator, and I'll quickly just hop inside of Spark mode just to show you, is I have these 8 enemy generators that are all linked to, and it's kind of tricky, but so I have this this trigger zone here on the bottom, and it's linked to the first enemy generator in each of the 2 rows, and then the enemy generators up here then are also daisy chained all together. So when one goes off, another one, it triggers the one next to it to go off, so that ideally it kind of goes into a full circle, so long as the RAM on your console can handle it. And I have a Wii U, so sometimes it gets a little hard for it to get caught up in that cycle. So I have it linked a couple different ways to make sure they always spawn. Then I have all those enemies spawn into another trigger area that's linked to a kill switch, which you can see right there above the trigger area. So as soon as they spawn into the area, they immediately get killed, and then the sparks drop down. And then to help with spark collection, I threw up these walls around the perimeter to make sure the sparks don't scatter, because sometimes if the characters die in a certain hard explosion, the sparks will go pretty far, and then they'll kind of be out of reach for you to grab. And then I put this nice just big this little circle of a rail here, and what's really nice is I expanded that trigger area so that the characters will trigger the spawning of bad guys twice as they go around the rink, around the rail. So it's pretty helpful. And so I just loaded up my little Spark Farm. It has nothing else in it, because you want to keep as little as possible inside of this to make sure that it doesn't run too heavy on the console. I'm running a Wii U, and I'm about to upgrade to like a PS4 or something, so I can get some better building capabilities, because I'm just so limited with the Wii U. But you can you still effectively level up inside of whatever console you want with a decent Spark Farm. So all right, and so I'm inside the Spark Farm generator now, which is nice and handy. And because I've got characters like Tinkerbell, which are level 0, and I'd like to get that statue, and I want to level them up to at least level 1. And so I want to do this as quickly as possible, because I've got like 100 characters now. I've got to make sure I can't spend all day sitting here trying to load these characters up. So so I've got Tinkerbell here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take her and jump her right onto the rail, and immediately she's going to start spawning, and the Spark Farm generator is going to start working. Now, 2 things that I will say about Spark Farm generators to make your life a lot easier and move a lot quicker is some power discs. And so I have 2 here. I have the Merlin rare Toys R Us exclusive power disc I'm going to put down on her base, and this is going to increase the pickup area of sparks, and so that alone is going to make sure that she can now reach all of those sparks that are going to drop. It's going to be able to pick up all of them. And then the other disc I have is the Mickey Sorcerer Hat one, which gives experience boosts. Occasionally. And so I'm going to put that one down as well. I don't need to double up on any power discs that increase the range of pickup, because it's kind of unnecessary, because it's such a small area. And so I thought I would capitalize on the other power disc slot by using the Mickey's the Sorcerer Hat power disc to get those added experience, because it does really help. It does make the difference if you are leveling up characters and without without these 2 power discs on a spark farm generator, it can take probably like 20% longer to properly level up. And so what's also really nice is I have a setup going on now where if you're smart about it and there's nothing else really going on the rail, you can just swap to another character and the character will continue to slide on the rail, which is really, really handy. You don't have to do anything special or fancy to up onto the rail. The character will continue to slide on the rail. Where this doesn't work is any of the Cars characters. Those will just fall off or they won't sit on the rail. And if any obstacles if any of the bad guys should fall off because of spawning too quickly, they could potentially hit your character on the rail and cause them to fall off. Or every once in a while when you change it over, like a little hiccup in the way that the level is processing, and it will also kick the character off the rail, which can be a pain. But it makes it easier. And so what makes it even better, and what I'll do is I'll try to, I don't know if I'll edit this or maybe I'll just I'll post on the site and add a picture in. But I've got a little table here with all of my characters in front of me. And I also, luckily enough, have another controller handy. And so you can double down on Spark Farm generating and loading in your characters by just adding another controller onto it. And so now if I put another character down on the base and join in with player 2, now I'm going to be able to speed through my my character loading into the game twice as fast. And so I don't think I ever managed to play with the Green Goblin, so I don't have him on even leveled up. You always want to make sure your characters are sliding in the same direction on the rail, so because if they're going in opposite directions, they'll hit each other and they will cause problems and cause each other to fall off the rail. And so now I've got 2 characters sliding on the rail. They're leveling up. And the other cool thing about this split screen leveling is that your characters will level each other with their experience that they collect. So the sparks that they pick up for experience will affect both the characters at the same time. So it really is handy to have this. And if you really want to maximize, I'll try to you want to try to get both your characters on the rail but on opposite ends, so that they can be re-triggering. There you go, perfect. So now these 2 characters are going to be triggering the enemy spawning at opposite times because they're on opposite ends of the rail now, which is really handy. And they will speed on the rail just about the same. They'll be on the rail about the same speed, so you don't have to worry about any kind of clashing with that. But you can see it's been a whopping 45 seconds, maybe a minute, and we're already at level 4 or 5 with these characters. So it doesn't take long to get them leveled up. But like I said, you only need that level 1. And so, it takes probably close to half an hour, 45 minutes for each character to get to level 20 on these with this Spark Farm generator. So I'm not going to let them sit and do that. But I can now just as quickly now swap out each of these characters and drop them in and just tap A to share ownership. And what's nice about that is that because you're constantly doing this, your controllers aren't going to go to sleep and cause the game to stop. Because when the second player controller goes to sleep, the game itself will pause because a Wii U error notice will appear, and the game will say it will need you to press A on the controller to wake it back up. And so because of doing this and constantly needing to share ownership and whatnot, you're interacting with your controllers enough that you don't have to worry about them falling asleep, which is kind of handy. So there you go, guys. There is my guide to uploading all of your characters inside of Disney Infinity 3.0, the quickest and most effective way, as well as to get them leveling up for you, while you're playing, because it can be very useful to have them loading up so you can get those extra townspeople, you can get those portraits, and then you can fill out your Hall of Heroes, which on Hall of Superheroes, which is going to be nice, especially once the new Marvel Battlegrounds. You want to be prepared and just have everything in there and uploaded and all nice and pretty, so that when all the characters come out, you can have nice full halls of heroes. So there you go, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and visit us at Disney Infinity Codes.